Hey everyone, and welcome to a little quick update video and catch-up video on Yosemite Valley. Thank you so much for clicking in. I really do appreciate it as always. Yeah, I've heard you guys. Many people have been commenting that they were falling behind a little bit off Yosemite Valley and they needed to catch up the videos, but they don't really have the time to. So today, that's a video for these people who want to still see what's going on in Yosemite Valley, to just be there for the next couple episodes that are upcoming, and who just don't have the time to watch every single episode, but they still want to be up to date. So we're going to discuss today about this zoo, and we are not doing like a classical tour. I will more or less do like a flyover, and I'm going to show where we are at. So technically we are in season number 4 right now, if you will, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. First of all, if you guys enjoy the content and you have been a long time follower on this channel, so to say, without being subscribed, please make sure to consider subscribing. It really helps the channel, helps me grow, and helps keeping that all up at the pace that I'm doing it right now. And yeah, so let's jump in. This is the entrance. Not much has changed over here. I think most of you guys still know the entrance area. To be completely honest, there is basically anything that has changed over here. I still kind of push this away from me. I know that there's quite a lot I need to change. So first of all, the biggest pain point in my eye are still these two rock faces over here, as well as that rock over here. So basically the rest is, as you can see, very nicely done in the back. So way more than at the beginning. But like, as this view is like wonderful, it's almost like perfect, exactly the way it is, this side is just still horrible. So I definitely have to do a lot of terraforming, which is going to be a little bit of a tricky thing because the performance is not as great anymore, so it's gonna be a little bit tricky. But I'm quite amazed by how good the performance is, despite the fact it's running right now. And yeah, I'm just gonna quickly enable the overlay, and you have to see that this over here, you can actually see there are multiple issues in this zoo, like multiple ones. And to be honest, before I will release this, there has to be like a whole kind of cleaning process going on. So I'm going to basically get rid of all the animals and just put new ones in, let them get babies. And the changes of the Australian pack of Planet Zoo has changed a whole bunch about the navigation of guests, but also about the navigation of animals. So all of a sudden, many animals could escape from their habitats, and I haven't had the time to fix all of that. So yeah. Now let's go through a little bit in a chronological order. This is the season 1 area over here. Everything you see that is actually on this side of the river, in the lower part of the screen right now, has been made in season number 1. There's not that much that we added in season 2, despite the second part of the night house, which I guess most of you still know. We do have like just a little catch up, okay? So we have the entrance area over here, which is pretty nice, and we have a lot of, you know, kind of traveling people coming from all over here. We have definitely a very nice, like, traffic kind of, I don't even know how to say that, but it's like almost like a traffic distribution area where we have the train coming in, we have the parking lot, we have the buses coming in. So quite a lot of stuff going on for the traffic. And then this is the main entrance on this side of the zoo. And if we go in, we have a bit of, you know, just some shops, some souvenirs and stuff. We have the backstage hub over there. We have the wonderful build from Mr. Aston, who provided that last winter. God, it's already a year ago. That's crazy. That's our trade depot. Like, I didn't change that to summer, which is a good thing, because the Christmas decoration is almost usable again, so it's still very nice. And then we have got season 3. I haven't done anything over here, but I know that I need to. Then there is a minor change that has already been made, but not like finally. There has been like a little staircase that went down here, but we had this really horrible traffic jam going on over here, and as you can see, it now is fixed. So the traffic is now pushed over here to the other hand side, but as I have done a little bit of work over here, it's not like perfectly fine yet. I have still to cover most of it up, but yeah, so this is the right hand side how you get down. You can also get into the sequoia area pretty easily. I will definitely also try to make like a connection over here, so you can take both routes. And on the other hand side, we have this more subtle thing for also maybe wheelchairs, even though that's like a very dangerous little, you know, incline, or, you know, just ramp, I want to say, for wheelchair drivers. But at least we do have some drainages in here. But again, nothing really changed to here. We have the forest area with the bison habitat to this side, where everyone is roaming around still. We have still the antelope / pronghorn area in the middle. We have the tortoises and yeah, both tortoises as well as the lemurs in here. We have another big backstage lock, which also has the veterinarian habitat and like for the animals to be cared of. We have the storage depot for the vehicles. We have a water filtration system, so quite a lot of important stuff. We do have the chimp house over here, which does need a little bit of a revamp, so we will actually tackle that also rather soon. I will change a few things in this house, even though it's actually working quite nice. But there are a few things, especially to the outside, I'm really not a big fan of. There's still loads of customization and scenery missing. It's still looking very barebone. And to the very back, very hidden, but sometimes in a zoo it is that way. We have what is that? That's the doll sheep. I was about to say goat, but this is not a goat. This is the doll sheep habitat, which is very rocky to make them like really climb on here. They just still run around using it. You even can hear the clock of the hooves tackling the rock. And then, yeah, we have this bridge for the train, which will be passing by in the future as soon as it's moving. But yeah, I just wanted to create some vistas like that, you know. This will look very cool when we have the train passing by. You have Half Dome there and the rest of the zoo. I think that will look kind of cool. Then we have the Siberian tiger habitat over here, which I still very much like with the Siberian architecture tucked to it. We have the big, like very big lion habitat, which still is one of the biggest attractions of this zoo. They really have a wonderful, huge habitat to roam around. It's very reminiscent of Yosemite Valley. It's nothing too African style, but yeah, as I said, I really wanted to keep that as much as possible to this style of Yosemite. Then we have the cheetah habitat, which, to be completely honest with you, is subject to change because for whatever reason what are you even doing? Are you just looking at each other and smiling? And what are you even doing? That looks very sus of you. They both don't know who the imposter is. But yeah, so this weird idea of a tower is nice, but looks like shit, to be honest. Like, you know, sometimes I also have to talk about my own stuff. And I remember that this was like a lazy little bit of addition because I didn't really know what exactly to do with the viewing. I still love the idea of having a viewing over here, but that thing just looks very, very bad. It looks super bad, and I will just change this, and I'm guessing that the easiest way of doing it is like keeping that like an open area, make a bit of more variations to the foliage and stuff, and then we will put like a bigger platform on this hand side here, which makes a whole bunch more sense, because then you have this wonderful overview of the lake, which yeah, it's going to be the next area and the last area we are going to work off. Forget about that thing. This is just a test over here. I'm not even sure if the koalas do finally climb, but no, they don't. It was the last test to make the koalas finally climb in the safe, but it still doesn't work. Yosemite is still broken regarding the koala bear animal. They just don't climb, and I have no idea why, but they just don't climb at this park. It's whatever I do, they will not use any climbing frame. They will just roam around the floor, and it's the way it is. But I don't have it in any other file. It's just in Yosemite, and I'm guessing before I completely change my computer, there's no way of fixing that. But yeah, other than that, this is mostly the area of yeah, season 1, and you basically know everything. We have the implied penguin habitat, which is now at the moment for the flamingos. We have the night house, which I can just quickly jump in for those who don't know it, but I really do recommend to check out the night house on the channel. If you haven't seen it already, you will pretty easily find that by typing in Yosemite Night House, and you will find all the episodes. But it's rather cool. You know, we have this dedicated house here with a lot of cool stuff. We have the Chinese pangolin to the side. We have a lot of desert night animals on the left hand side here in the exhibit. We have the art walk running around here. Then we go into the South American area. We have the frog in the middle as kind of a little exhibit animal to be displayed, and then on the right hand side and left hand side, just kind of in a circle around here, we have the anteater, the giant anteater, and also my best friends, the bird's tapir, which is so cool. Oh, look at that. I did not know how that looks when they sleep. So cute. They're just a big fluffy ball. Look at that. I love that. Okay, so this is what we have over here. And then we moved on to season number 2, which is mostly, and I'm going to try to show that off as best as I can, which is mostly this left-hand side over here. Forget about the right-hand side, this came in later, but this left-hand side, the domes, including that area down here with the restaurant and the creek in here. I'm gonna have to change the lighting a little bit. Let's go a little bit into the day, so we have a bit of a brighter appearance to here. Otherwise, that's also lighting is still a big issue in this zoo, but I'm not going to fix that. But yeah, so this is how this area turned out. We have the wonderful South American domes, which, yeah, I mean, come on, they are still looking pretty cool. Pretty cool, and I remember what kind of struggle that was, so I will find them cool for an eternal time. Which down here has the, I think in this habitat we do have the pygmy hippo somewhere. Yes, there we go. This is the pygmy hippo just having a little chilled sleep here. I'm not sure where the other one is. And then we go further in. We have the Nile monitor. We have an underwater viewing of the hippo. There's one even in the water. Look at that. I thought we never catch one in here, but in fact we did today. There's one just chilling underwater. This is then the Nile monitor, who's, well, both are sitting in a box. Let's just unbox those two dudes. There you go. Being unboxed up here. So you can see they have a very nice habitat. They can just go in here and then enjoy this area with the bridge just crossing over. What on earth is going on here? I'm not sure, but the kangaroo should not be... How and why is a kangaroo here? Sorry, I just quickly... This makes no sense at all. Okay, whatever. Whatever, guys. The kangaroo is not meant to be there. This is in fact... Oops, I totally lost track. This is in fact, as you can easily tell, this is the orangutan habitat over here. Quite a lot of animals are still in this habitat. As beautiful as it is, as problematic is also. It always creates a lot of confusion for them to climb. I don't know, you know, you can actually tell that they're all on the ground, and I'm quite sure, like, when I check one now, I'm not able to move it up here. Let's have it. Oh, I am able. So let's have a look what the traversable area says. Yeah, but it's still the same problem. They really do not recognize the climbing. But sometimes I can still move them here, and as soon as the dude is here, he kind of recognizes everything else. Let's have a look if that works, because normally that just works. And alright, okay, today it doesn't. Whatever, I'm just leaving it as it is, because sometimes they just reset after a while and then it's good. But due to all the changes the game has made in the meantime, the climbing over here just all doesn't work, which is weird, because it just worked perfectly fine when I built the habitat, but now it's not. But yeah, I still love it, and I will fix all the things just for release, but not now. If you continue, you have the jaguar. Look at that, we can even see the little black panther in here. How cool is that? But yeah, still, this is the South American dome. You can just go further. You see the capuchin monkey habitat over here, which I guess still has to be one of my favorite habitats ever built. The design of it, everything, the looks, the vistas, everything about this habitat, the way how it interacts with the overall area. I just love this habitat. I am a big fan of it. And I think this is one of the things that you could really see in an actual zoo. The only issue you have is how to track these animals from not running, for example, into the Nile monitor habitat. But yeah, at a certain point, we just leave it with the realism as it is. But yeah, you can see they're even running around here with the guests, so that's kind of cool. And then you have this double gate, double airlock to get out into this area, which is basically only a recreation area. We have a little water stream in the middle. We have some recreation area here to grab some food. A little well in the middle. We have something on the... I just don't know what's going on. We just ignore this box for a second, okay? And then we do still have the wonderful Jaguar Creek in here, which is a fantastic big habitat, like way too big, but I just love it because it's so much working with the terrain and stuff. For the Jaguar and the Black Panther, which I guess are both sleeping right now. Yeah, they're both just over here sleeping. So yeah, again, as soon as I release this, I make sure that they're both also grown up and, you know, just in general. And then last but not least, in Season 2, we added the grizzly bear reintroduction program. So this is in fact the habitat, and you can actually see one grizzly bear coming out here, both of them, which I love. They have this wonderful circular habitat in the middle, which you kind of would see in a zoo as well. I'm quite a little fan of that one. It's just, I love the design because it's very reminiscent of what you would see in zoos. But then obviously there's a little trick to it. This habitat is not only a habitat for a zoo. This is in fact also connected via this tunnel to the actual reintroduction program, which is on the back side and has this upper level habitat, which is bigger. And then we have a gate which releases them into the freedom and eventually also to climb on top of the roof. However, this is actually really a cool thing because I could embed so much of your feedback, and we were able to create this wonderful reintroduction, sorry, I messed up the words again, program for our animals. And as soon as they just leave this gate, they are back reintroduced into the Yosemite Valley area, which I love, at least in my imagination. They have a wonderful little water stream in the middle, like a creek coming down from a source up here. We have them roaming around. There are a lot of pieces they can interact with, and yeah, that's basically all very high up in the mountains, to be honest. So if you have a look from over here, it really gives you that cool overview towards our zoo. I mean, I'm actually, yeah, let me just check the, sun. If we do a little bit of a different sunlight, that looks very cool with the half dome in the back, doesn't it? Oh boy, that looks really cool. That's like even screenshot worthy. I haven't actually looked too much at my zoo, at whatever word I'm using here, from this position, but it's actually worth it. It is. Okay, so we've done that. Now we can move on into the next. Oh well, I forgot one of the most important things, which is again subject to change. For those of you who like Rust, they know a certain shadow frags always using that subject to change, which still holds true. Yeah, we have the wolf habitat. I know that a lot of you guys love the wolf habitat. When I asked you guys what's your favorite one, the wolf habitat has been named several times for a good reason. I really think it's embedded nicely enough into the nature that we can all assume, oh, look at that, I love it. It's so cozy. But it almost hides perfectly in the rock. It has like perfect rock texture. Lovely. It's almost like a chameleon over here. Love it. But again, I am a big fan also of that one, since it really shows how we could integrate that in the nature of Yosemite. It all feels like it has been here and just repurposed to be in a zoo. And then we have this huge waterfall coming down. And yes, I heard you guys, it's going to be changed. This is not really realistic, to be totally honest. We would have like something that carves a bit more into the stone rather than having this big ol', I don't know, big old mountain that keeps it off. But like realistically, there would be like a V-shaped kind of little stream in the middle of two big rock faces, which then leads the waterfall down. So I'm going to repurpose all of that and redo this to make it look a lot more realistic. I have something in my mind to do it. I guess it will look pretty fancy, but that has to wait till the very end because I really don't have the time and I really don't want to do it right now. So it's going to be part of the last fixes, I guess. And then if we move on, this is season number 3, adding the north entrance. So we have 2 tunnels coming up from right and left, and then we have this very nice snaking path or road that sneaks here through the mountains and ends up in a way, smaller parking lot over here, another small parking lot over here. So this is almost like the little secret entrance for the people who don't want to go to the big, public hub on the other side. This is more like a gentle second entrance. I'm still in love with my little retaining wall thingy over here because that's kind of some of the boring kind of things you need in a build like that. It looks weirdly boring but still very satisfying with this odd wall, and just I would love to be able to reduce the saturation though of this wall. Like I love the fact we have this, but I would really love to make this a bit less reddish, not more but less reddish, to just blend it in a bit nicer with the concrete and stuff. Anyways, that's just a minor complaint here. However, if we look to this entrance, this is still one of the things I built, but then again, Mr. Haribo took over and built this wonderful cabin area, I want to call it, with this little water stream in the middle, with the bridge connecting to the wolves, with the implied it's not a habitat, but the implied fact that there are peafoals like freely and completely free roaming around in our zoo. He made this also very nice indeed, so you have them moving around, at least in this area. These houses are all very nice because they imply that this is also like a recreation area for the people to live in and not just a zoo. We have the reindeers as a central habitat in here, which is then connected to the Beaver Creek, which, I heard you again, has to be completely changed because beavers do not live that close to waterfalls. So yes, of course, that has to be changed because you guys didn't say that for no reason. I will change it. You know, this time I don't even need to hide it away from you. What we will do, and I think this will fairly nicely go in hand in hand with what we will do on the other side. We will make a bigger waterfall come down from here, and then we will have a very nice, almost canyon-ish looking stream just going over here and then connect into this little pond of water, so that the actual waterfall is somewhat over here and then sneaks around, and then we can actually tackle this little trail that goes up the hill, which somehow ends here, to make this a wonderful viewing spot for the waterfall. I think that is the perfect idea, so we will let that sneak a little bit higher up to here. The waterfall will come down here, and then the water will go to the left hand side, just snaking around till it reaches that area, and then we'll have the beaver habitat as kind of an end part. So it's going to be all a bit more open as it is right now. And yeah, so now we move further into the wonderful ape house that is also introduced by Haribo. So these were the two bigger builds he brought into the zoo, which I'm a big fan of. I know some people are not, but I am still a very big fan of this house. I did already a little bit of a change to make it a bit more Yosemite-ish, and I will continue embedding it as soon as we tackle this area in the upcoming episodes. That means there will be a few changes happening, but not too many, to be honest. We will just bring a bit more wood. We will make it be a bit more lush as well, and yeah, that's it. And then last but not least, in the season 3, so to say, I created some implied habitats just to keep my head spinning and keep my creativity. Like we started with a normal elephant habitat, which is big star of the show to this hand side, but then I made a meerkat habitat to this side, and we made a fennec fox habitat that is sitting over here, nicely integrated in this little bit more small and nice and cozy area, which then rounds off with the mandrill over here, because it makes sense next to the primate house to have the mandrills. So in fact, we have the gorillas, we have the bonobos, and we have the mandrills over here, let alone the chimpanzees are on the other hand side. But maybe they will even move over here. I'm not too sure. I have some ideas, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe they have to move. And then with the Australian pack released, we just made a little excursion to Australia, which has the wonderful koala house over here and the kangaroo habitat in here, which the kangaroo habitat is just very simple. It has this nice viewing gallery from over here. As you can see, nice views implied, nice views actually happening. It's very simple though, rather simple. We have this bottom of water as a natural barrier, because they just go very close to the water and just get a nib of it, but not too much. Just don't get their knees wet, just a little bit, just to the ankles, I guess. And then, yeah, as soon as this was done, I want to call it a day for season 3. And season 4, in fact, is and was the aquarium. This is that huge build over here, and it's not the latest status. For those of you who watch my live streams, and this is now the shameless plug in here, I do most of my builds actually during the live stream on Twitch. So in case you guys want to check me out doing that live, make sure to follow my Twitch stream. I would love to give you a very nice schedule of that, but I can't really promise. The only thing I can say is the most likely day is Monday, which time it kind of changes a little bit between 7 p.m. in the evening or 10 p.m. in the evening. Depends a little bit on my live situation, who's here, what is what, and whatever. But just make sure to check my Discord and my social media channels. I will always let you know when a live stream happens, and so you can actually finally join and enjoy. So we will just have a little peek inside the aquarium for those of you who haven't seen it, but I don't want to make like a proper tour or whatsoever, because that is going to happen rather soon in a more detailed way. So we're just gonna make a little fly through. So we have several habitats in here. We have a skeleton, which is subject to change. Yeah, we have some good lighting, and we also did the entrances by now. So quite a lot of stuff that you guys haven't seen yet. So again, I don't want to spoil too much, so this is why I'm just going to give you a little peek. Yeah, that's it. Now, nearly half an hour we talked about what has happened in the past. I think it's time to talk about what is happening in the future. Now, oh wait, I forgot actually. In season number 3, we also, no, actually, I think it was the end of 2, or somewhere in between, to keep my head spinning, I made 2 more habitats, which is the sea lion habitat to this side, which finally has a connection to the aquarium area, and I made the camel habitat because, well, we needed camel in this project, right? You guys were asking for it for too long. I was doing the camel habitat. It's rather simple, and it's not my favorite habitat of the zoo, I'm gonna tell you, but the animals are just great in it, so they make it special. Let's call it that way. But a camel habitat is fairly boring, guys. I would love to say something else, but a camel habitat is boring. You can't really do much with them. They are just very needy, you know, in terms of being cool animals, but they're not needy when it comes to their habitats. However, this is the wonderful sea lion habitat, which at the moment houses a Formosan black bear for reasons I can't go deeper in right now. I did some testing, whatever. And yeah, we have a more natural pond to this side, which is a bit more natural environment, I guess, implied with a lovely pier. And then this is kind of the show area where the trainers could actually feed the sea lions and make them swim over here. You have an underwater viewing, you have an education area, and you have some seating possibilities over here to make sure to watch the show. But then this is it about what is in the zoo. Now what happens next is, it's pretty simple. It's really that simple. We are now in the middle of October. Actually, we are going towards the end of October, so 2/3 of the October are done. Now, that means we are nearing the November, and on November the 5th, there is 1-year anniversary of Planet Zoo. Now, spoilers ahead, I have no idea if there's something happening, and if what this would be. When I built the aquarium, I had a very clear plan in mind, and that was solely to keep my head spinning, to keep my creativity flowing, and just give myself a different challenge. It was not built on any knowledge, it was not built on any idea or long-term leak or whatever. It was solely built because I wanted it. Now, obviously we have no info. It might be that Frontier comes around the corner next week, well, hey, like there's a marine pack, you know, or whatever, aquatic pack. If that happens, I will definitely tackle this and we will fill in this entire area over here. So this is the area which will be the aquatic area. Whatever kind of stuff that will be, who knows, it's gonna be this area. And obviously I will try to repurpose most of the habitats in here if they ever work. I guess most of them won't, but who knows, so I have to see. However, if that doesn't happen, and if there is only an update of game systems, whatever, that not necessarily imply a new area, or if they do not bring in some very special animals that we have to take care of, I will then move on and fill in, first of all, this area over here. And there will be a few things happening, I can say that now. The chimpanzee house most likely will move from here to here. I'm not sure if I'll do this. I'm really not sure because of pathing and stuff is kind of ridiculous. I'll have some tests going on before I record if that's feasible. If not, this is going to be a African mixed habitat, and it's going to be exactly this corner over here, which one thing will happen. I will raise this area quite significantly to a little platform, and then the platform will also be used to get some good viewing of the mixed African habitat. So what happens is you will have like a wonderful viewing opportunity inside of a giraffe habitat. So as you can see, as you can actually tell from some zoos, they have a raised platform to be close to the heads of the giraffes, which is a cool thing for the people to get closer to them. That's going to happen here as well. And I want to guide them just over here, over this path, then back into this area, because I want to make sure that this lake is kept natural as much as we... Excuse me, I'm not the biggest expert, but I don't really feel a lion in an elephant habitat is a good idea. Whatever, take your mud bath, I don't care too much. So that's gonna happen here, and we will have a mixed habitat. That means we will not only have the giraffe. We'll also have some other African animals, and I think this will take up some episodes because this will take up the entire area over here. So we will have some shops going on. We will have a backstage area connected to this, which in fact has to happen because there's a disconnect from over here to here. So this also has the implication that the cheetah habitat has to change slightly. I will get rid of this weird tunnel over here, like just like so. I'm gonna change this though, don't worry, I'm gonna make this look a bit better. I'm not a big fan. I want to have this roof just clean, and we will just bring in a lot more plants, a lot more trees over here. It's way too open. That's not Yosemite Valley, so we have to really look into this. That's gonna happen over here. Now, again, as I said, if nothing crazy happens, we have to look into this first and make this area ready. I think it's gonna be like, realistically, it's gonna be made in like 4 to 5 episodes. So that's not really that long. It's maybe at the end of November we should be done with it. And here's the big thing. Prepare now, guys, for some odd news. Maybe something that surprises you. When this area is done and we haven't gotten a marine pack or a birds pack, because birds would actually also go in here. I really make this dependent on what Frontier is giving us, because there's no other chance, there's not much more space. This is reserved for the African animals, there's no denial, it's gonna be Africa, because that connects beautifully from the lions over here to the primates and stuff. There's no other reason we have to make this entire area Africa. It's just no other chance. So this area is either aquatic or birds. If we don't get, and I think this is at the moment, unfortunately, the biggest chance and the most realistic assumption, if we don't get any of those two things, birds or marine, I will end Yosemite Valley immediately after Africa has been done. And there are several reasons for that. First, this project has been huge. It has been incredible, and it made me such a better builder. I think the map itself, the mapscaping and everything is just really a step up from what I've done so far, with all the different layers and trees and, I don't know, custom stuff and realism aspects versus creative aspects, because that's kind of a force and back in the zoo. It really challenged me. But this is gone per the natural build, because mostly everything is done and it would just be a copy-paste, and I don't like that. I just don't like copy-paste if it's not helping me to build, you know? Just copy-paste in terms of builds, I don't really like. Now, I really would love to make this a complete zoo, and that means the complete zoo has to have aquatic or birds in it, at least in combination with the mammals. And also, if Frontier doesn't do this, or if Planet Zoo isn't receiving an update like that, it might be that I move away a little bit from this game. Like a little bit. I have a new project in mind, but the new project is completely different. It will be nothing like that. It's also like a rather different approach on the game in general, which then will replace Yosemite. It's gonna be a very interesting setting, and it's gonna be very interesting in terms of how we approach it. And this is totally loose from any kind of DLC. So I made myself a plan that is not dependent on new content, which I hope helps you guys to keep the interest in it and helps me to stretch my muscles. And it's something people have done in a way, but not to that extent. So I'm still very much hoping that this works. But yeah, I say it as it is. Yosemite Valley will end if there is no birds or marine animals in the next upcoming updates. It's plain simple as that. Which doesn't mean it's dying, because I will leave that open, and eventually, if we get that in half a year or whatever, I will come back to this open space and bring in whatever is coming. And then this will be fully released. But as I treated it, I will obviously, after Africa is done, I will release the 4.0 version of Yosemite Valley. And then maybe I'm also just going to fill that with nature for the moment being. So the zoo is more or less done. But yeah, so this is the catch-up of Yosemite Valley Zoo. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this very long video. But for those of you who haven't seen all the episodes, I guess it is a welcome long video, because that kind of sums up everything we've done and everything we are at, and we have this incredible view over here. Let me just use that view. I think I'm gonna use that as the screenshot, because that really sums up Yosemite in a very nice way. Can I just get rid of this shade over here? Whatever. So yeah, guys, I'm happy when you are happy, and I really hope you are happy and enjoying this park, this zoo, this project. You know, they're more than just, it's more than just a zoo, it's a whole project. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you're new here and you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the content in general, make sure to subscribe. That really helps me out a bunch. And now, as a last little thing to ask you guys, let me know in the comments if there's anything you're missing about this project, and if so, what is that? And also let me know what you think about the plan of making Africa in this upper area to have dome. And yeah, the final, last but not least question is, what would you love to see more? Aquatic or marine? That's a good one. Aquatic or birds? Let me know in the comments down below. And now stay safe, enjoy your day, guys, enjoy hump day, and I'll see you in the next one.